Hello, I'm Anne Grand, a member of Astrobiology OU at the Open University. I'd like to begin by thanking my co-authors in this presentation, and indeed all my colleagues in Astrobiology OU. I hold the rare, if not unique, title of Lecturer in Astrobiology Education. The purpose of this role is to develop, implement and critically evaluate a programme of teaching and training for academics, teachers and other stakeholders that integrates the research of Astrobiology OU. This presentation covers some of the steps we have taken to start that programme. Astrobiology OU is a transdisciplinary research community of more than 50 scholars, researchers and practitioners who come from a wide range of fields and have a wide range of interests. Such transdisciplinarity brings both benefits and challenges, requiring effective communication and continuing conversation. Moreover, Astrobiology OU is committed to achieving its aims through a programme of engaged research, a relatively new methodology in the context of a transdisciplinary group. Why have we chosen to commit to engaged research? The Open University's concept of engaged research, which you see here, encompasses the many different ways that researchers meaningfully interact with stakeholders, user communities, members of the public and other communities to facilitate engagement over any or all stages of a research process, from issue formulation through production or co-creation of new knowledge, to knowledge evaluation and dissemination. In practice, this definition requires us to rethink how we conduct research. How are questions selected and by whom? How will we work together and with whom will we seek to find answers? Evidence and practice from work to tackle complex problems in other areas, such as human health and well-being, has demonstrated the importance and value of engaging and collaborating with people with first-hand experiences of the issues. As in this example from a project in remote northwestern Bangladesh, which engaged the experiences of young mothers to inform maternal health policy. Likewise, by co-producing astrobiology educational resources, we ensure those key assets of people's experience and expertise are brought into the research. By working with members of the educational community, with teachers and students, we draw on and embed those experiences and expertises in the educational resources we produce, resources that will integrate the research of Astrobiology OU. For us, co-production and co-development offers evidence, the understanding from teachers and pupils' perspectives, thoughts, views and opinions, and a scaffolding so that teachers have the information to use those resources in the best, most efficient way in their classroom, making best use of their time and skills. Equally, researchers can benefit from teachers' and students' experiences and expertise. Colleagues' previous work has shown that many academics are willing and highly committed to communicating their research to pupils, but less willing to engage with teachers and pupils in the co-production of educational resources. Our current experiment in co-production aims to build from this background to meet current challenges to produce actionable, sustainable knowledge and understanding. Each new activity requires us to identify that shared challenge. So as the first exploratory stage in the process, we chose to use a focus group. The value of a focus group as an engaged research method is that, with careful moderation, it enables one to draw out respondents' attitudes, feelings, beliefs, experiences and reactions in a reasonably natural conversational setting. It's especially useful in the early stages of engaged research, as while it does impose a focus on a particular topic or issue, there is less structure and prejudgment about issues that participants might want to discuss. The UK's response to the COVID pandemic meant our focus group had to move online. While this pivot created challenges, it also brought benefits. For one thing, it's known that online participants working in their own space feel more comfortable and are probably more honest in their answers. I therefore facilitated an online focus group to scope teachers' needs, requirements, suggestions and expectations for training and classroom resources. The subjects they taught included psychology, geography, history, social science and philosophy. We discussed the aim and relevance of training for them and their personal development, the scope for astrobiology to support across the curriculum, their preferred format delivery, what they wanted from training and resources, and their willingness to be part of co-production. On the question of what they wanted from training or resources, their responses focused less on the content and more on the fact that for teachers, time is precious. While some teachers do like discussing ideas and going back to the drawing board, there's a strong pragmatic streak. With more than ever to fit into the school year, teachers wanted to be sure that the resources and training had been tried and tested, could be picked up and used in the classroom, were tied to the curriculum, but also adaptable to different circumstances. With tension between plug and play and inspiration, essentially, as one teacher said, you need both. The inspiration that you understand why, but the resource you can pick up and pop into a classroom. Teachers instantly grasped the potential for cross-curricular work. They felt that the sheer breadth of academic disciplines involved in astrobiology, from geology, physics, chemistry to ethics, history, philosophy and more, would allow young people to exercise their curiosity and critically address big questions. Questions such as this teacher here said she liked to ask young people in her classroom. What questions should we be asking about life outside the planet? What does that tell us? How can we ask questions that might transform people's way of looking at the world and themselves? While teachers felt that the work would be most appropriate for older pupils, 17, 18-year-olds, for whom such cross-curricularity would be refreshing, they also mentioned other places where such cross-curricular work would be appropriate. For example, pupil referral units, which in the UK are small units that cater for children who aren't able to attend a mainstream school or need greater care and support than that school can provide. In this situation, given that they don't have any choice in the subjects they do, something like astrobiology would be really engaging. I also took the opportunity to ask teachers for their views on being part of the process of co-production. The Open University has more than 50 years' experience of distance learning, of enabling students from around the world, from all kinds of backgrounds and with all kinds of aspirations, to access higher education. Nevertheless, despite this commitment to openness, the OU has limited activity in co-production, a gap we hope to fill. Happily, we got a very warm response. The teachers felt that would be amazing, great for everyone, for the teachers involved, for the school, for the children. It would be really fantastic. Another point we are considering is how and where we make our resources available. By its nature, engaged research embodies openness. To collaborate, one must remain open to ideas and people. The key is that this approach can produce a range of outputs, not simply academic research papers. To summarise, engaged research brings both challenges and benefits. It asks us to break the existing boundaries of academia, but it allows us to learn from complementary challenges in disciplines other than our own. It allows us to be pragmatic. A collaborative approach targets the production of resources that have been identified as useful. And working in this way also increases the likelihood that our shared solutions will be reused and adapted. Furthermore, for researchers, funders' requirements are another powerful driver. Public funders and institutions increasingly require tangible evidence of integrated working with communities, using co-creation as a powerful tool to enhance the diversity of the communities who are engaging with research. However, we must recognise that this approach takes time, especially as everyone needs to adapt. It supports creativity, allowing teachers, students, researchers and everyone to draw on their creativity to enable resources that can be adapted and repurposed. But such creativity takes time to evolve. The cross-curricularity of astrobiology draws subjects together from the sciences, humanities and more. But the complex questions this means we will be asking will inevitably have complex answers. Finally, it is engaged, meaning we can ask broader questions and involve different types of expertise and experience. But we have to make sure we build a shared understanding about what successful solutions will look like. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to reading your comments and responding to them in the forum.